What are you most proud of? What that you've accomplished?
It's tough. It's been a long career. 17 years. It's hard to pinpoint in my professional career the things that I'm most proud of. I think it's fun. No, it's definitely not over, but it's fun to kind of challenge. From a 17-year-old kid and kind of challenge what's normal or what the system was. That was pretty cool.
Like you're always going after it, always going after it, always going after it. And if there's a challenge that ensues, oh, good, I want to see how I stack up to that. So you go after it, And it's just, it's fun. It's like you get a chance to compete against opponents and you get a chance to see where you stack up against them. It's like, I want to see. Maybe I'm not good enough today. If that's fine. I'll be good enough the next time I see you, though. And you get a chance to always measure yourself. And it's just fun to do that.
Well, it's been tough, but when I have tough situations, I try to look at them as challenges. I don't look at them as something where it becomes a burden or something that's heavy on my shoulders. I look at it as a challenge. It's something that, it's just a puzzle that you have to figure out no matter what.
You had the grades, you had the scores to go to college. Why the NBA?
It's the ultimate challenge. If I was 40 years old and I'm sitting back and I'm looking back on my career, if I went to college and played on the NBA, maybe I had a great career, maybe not, but I'm still having that doubt in my mind. Could I have answered that challenge? Could I have responded to the challenge of the NBA? And that's something that I didn't want to have on my shoulders, so I just really accepted it. And for me, it's all about challenges. Mm-hmm. And I just kind of had to sit back and say, do I want to take on another challenge? Because I hear players, especially my peers, say, well, he's only this good because he plays with Shaq. Mm-hmm. If I played with Shaq, I'd have 3 rings. Mm-hmm. Or if he leaves Shaquille O'Neal, he'll never win another title. And you hear this type of stuff coming from your peers.
That bothered you?
I don't like that. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. So I had to sit down and evaluate, is this a challenge that I want to take on? Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much the process that I was kind of going through.
And then you kind of got to go with your gut. You got to go with your gut and see, are we creating something that's been done before? Or is this a project something that nobody's seen before? Mm-hmm. And is it a project that we're not sure that we can do? And if the answer is yes, then 9 times out of 10, we're going for that one, right? Because that means we're pushing boundaries a little bit.
What is your advice to young kids to face this adversity? How do you persevere?
Well, because
you have that chemical makeup to fight through it.
Yeah.
Not all kids do.
But every kid, every person has the ability to put one foot in front of the other.
One step at a time.
Right? So like if you're saying, okay, I'm going to climb Mount Everest, you're at the bottom of the mountain and you look up and you're going, I'm not going to climb Mount Everest, right? But if you break it down into sections and you just one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, next thing you know, you're at the top of the mountain. Right? The process, loving the process, loving the daily grind of it, and putting the puzzle together. It seems like this generation seems to be really concerned with the end result of things versus understanding, appreciating the journey to get there, which is the most important. The trials and tribulations that come along with it. You have successes, you have failures, but it's all part of the end, right? The end game. And what I see a lot of time from young players is, they'll try, they'll push, and all of a sudden they get hit with some adversity. Nah, let me do something else. Instead of staying with it, you just stay with it. Exactly. A lot of guys just kind of give up on it because it's not happening now. That's exactly right. What limitations, I may have, I'm gonna figure my way through that and figure out a way to be effective. And we got one really loud pop. It was really, really loud. It was a big pop. And he just looked at me and he said, well, either that's a good thing or a bad thing. Either that pop means you're gonna be able to play, you're gonna be able to move around, or that means I've just really broken your ankle and you're done. So walk around, tell me how you feel. And I started walking and it felt good. And I started jogging and it felt better. The swelling was still there, it was still really big, but the pain wasn't there as much. It took me a little while to get going, get used to it, but once I got used to it, it was back to business as usual.
That's a loose ball foul on Shaq. That'll be number 6. What a big play.
Kobe looked at me and he didn't have a worry in the world. He said, I got you, big fella, and I'm going to take over.
Now you know that Kobe's going to take over the game. Kobe is going to try to attack.
also knew they weren't double teaming me. I mean, I was 21 years old. I don't think the Pacers really had any idea of the confidence or the ambition that was inside of me. If they knew, they would have blitzed me.
Kobe is going to go to work again. Here he is over Jackson. How good is this kid? The Lakers have a 3-1 lead.
When Shaq fouled out, my mind state was, this game just became an awful lot more interesting than it was. And it was just fun for me. I laughed about it. Just went out and played relaxed as if I was in the backyard.
But if I had to make a decision, I probably would have wound up going to Carolina just because.
Really?
Yeah, because of the competition. So the year before before I graduated, Vince Carter went to Carolina. And the year before, he was the best guard in the country. So I'm saying, I want to play against him every single day because I want to get better. I want to measure myself against these guys. I want to measure myself against competing against a Vince Carter, Phelps, Rasheed Wallace every day. That's something that I was really looking forward to doing.
Robert Horry says he's never seen somebody who can see a move another guy does and pick it up as quickly as you. Explain what you'll do.
Well, I know exactly what he's referring to. I mean, I watched, we played against the Houston Rockets, and I was still a young kid. He was 18, 19 years old. And I'm watching Akeem Olajuwon up close, and he's doing his dream shake. And I'm just kind of watching. And I asked Robert, hey, Robert, how did Akeem used to practice that move? Because they played together and won a couple championships together. So Robert kind of went through, how he watched Akeem practice and stuff like that. And then the next practice, I go right to the post and I start doing a dream shake and mimicking that exact move.
Why do you think you were able to pick it up so quickly?
Because I've been playing since I was 2. So every move I've
tried. There are plenty of basketball players who've been playing a long time.
Yeah, not since 2 though, and that's for as long as I have. Just by osmosis, you pick up so many things, and your muscle memory is that you can watch something and just go out right away and do it. As time goes on, I'm sitting there 70, 80 years old, and I'm going to be wondering if I could have come back from this injury. Mm-hmm. I don't want to wonder. I want to find out.
We got to get to that 60-point game.
I want to see, man.
We got to get to that game.
Yeah, if the critics are out there saying he's done, he'll never come back, well, maybe you're right, maybe you're not. But let's find out.
Take us back to that day against Phoenix, right? When you injured your Achilles.
It's Golden State.
Oh,
it was hard, man. Because the Achilles injury is the worst injury for an athlete. It's like the worst. It's like the kiss of death. And when I ruptured my Achilles, I knew what happened. I knew the severity of the injury, and I didn't know if I was going to come back from it.
Yeah, in the locker room, you were crying.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, this is it. My career could be over right now.
Kobe, when you were coming off the court, what emotions were going through your head?
I was pissed and sad. We worked really hard to get to this point. I was pissed. Well, what I did is, I went home and I was just really angry. And
angry?
I was angry. I was mad. I was angry. I worked so hard for us to get to the playoffs and to have a chance to win another championship, and then this happened. So I had a lot of anger. And then from the anger, then I was sad. And then you start feeling bad for yourself. And then you say, all right, okay, I'm done being a baby. Okay, what am I going to do now? Because I can't sit here and give up. That's not an option. So now what?
How long was this cycle from this anger?
This is one night.
One night?
This is one night. It's one night. It was
because you started writing in the middle of the night, right? You wrote that, you wrote that.
And then it was, okay, what are we going to do? So, it was one night. But then, then you start, it's a process. You look at process. Mm-hmm. What am I going to do? What can I control? Surgery, we'll do the surgery. Come out of the surgery, recover. From there, physical therapy. Okay, physical therapy, piece by piece by piece by piece by piece, start running, back on the court. And so I broke things down into sections and said, okay, I'm going to focus on resting right now. This is it. I'm going to focus on moving my toes and then walking. And then, so you look at every challenge at every step. And that's how you're able to be resilient and come back from these things.
So the night that you got hurt, you did all the soul searching, the Facebook post.
The rant.
This is the worst thing ever. Wondering if you should just pack it in, right? Now that you're basically almost out the other side, you look back through this whole experience, how would you describe it?
Well, I mean, it's one of those moments. You know, I think we all have moments like this in life where it just seems like that day is never going to end. You know, it just seems like the moment that you're in just feels like the darkest moment to you. You know, you personally feel like, I don't know if I can do this again. I don't know if I can come back, you know, and you have to issue that challenge to yourself and try to respond to it.
But if anyone's going to get through this, probably you, right?
Oh, man. Shit. I was really tired, man. Just tired in the locker room, upset and dejected and thinking about this mountain, man, to overcome. I mean, this is a long process, you know. And wasn't sure I could do it. Then, you know, your kids walk in and you're like, you know, I gotta set an example. You know, Daddy's gonna be fine. I'm gonna do it. You know, work hard and just go from there.
Yeah, I knew right away it was the Achilles. I knew it was torn. I was hoping for some kind of magical healing power where I could reattach the Achilles by rubbing it. At that point, you gotta try anything, you know, try everything. But I knew it happened, and you know, I got up. I was just trying to walk and trying to find a way to manage it for a few more minutes. There are a lot of moments in sports where the outside world views them and has a reaction to it, an inspirational reaction to it, whereas us as the athletes simply see what the moment is right in front of us. And for me, the moment was like, it was very black and white. You know, can I figure out how to walk through this or play through this for these last few minutes of this game?
And he is hurting, but the Lakers down by 2, and they want him and need him at the free throw line.
I tried to figure out, is there a way that I could play through it? And I'm just gonna shoot the free throws. I'm gonna put all the pressure on my right leg and shoot these free throws because I do not want them selecting who's gonna shoot the free throw on our team and cost us a couple points.
He is literally on his last leg right now. He can barely make it to the free throw line.
It's my responsibility to do this. And so that's what I was thinking.
Got it.
I went out and shot the free throws, and then walking back, I could feel the tendon start rolling up higher and higher, and I was like, you know, it's probably not a good idea for me to continue.
I told the official that after the second free throw, we were going to foul to stop the game so we could get him out. And he walked on his own power to the locker room.
Don't ever question the heart, the emotion, the grit, the tenacity of that guy.
That's the beauty of sports, when you can have moments like that become bigger than the moment itself and inspire other people. I mean, that's what makes sports great.
You've had tons, and we've watched you, tons of personal and professional challenges in your career. Is this at the top of the list?
Yeah, you know, but you know, it's fueling me. It's fueling me. I can feel it already. You know, I can feel it already. It's just, you know, players at this stage of their career, you know, they pop up Achilles, and you know, the pundits say they'll never come back the same. So I can hear it already, and it's pissing me off right now. Just thinking about it. So
this isn't the last game that we'll see you play.
Really?
Well, no, you said I'm not trying to be rude.
Really?
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to.
It's appropriate that you asked that question from down there.